Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and if you're watching this video, that means that you failed your road test and you have no idea what to do next. Or you are thinking about taking your next test and you're thinking about, hey, am I ready? Am I going to fail? What's going to happen? And I want to let you know to calm down. If you do fail the test, it happens more often than you think. I mean, we've had thousands of students come through our program so far, and from all walks of life. Everyone from people who maybe just came out of jail, from doctors and lawyers, and even this one guy that came out of Harvard. And when I was an examiner, I got to see people who passed their test, people who failed their test, and I got to hear their stories. And it's super interesting to say, no matter where they came from, many of them said this was the hardest test they've ever taken in their entire life. So if you did fail or you're in fear of failing, it's normal. I wanted to let you know that it's okay to understand that. Now, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on what you should be doing if you did just fail your actual test. If you kind of understand this guide, maybe you'll take the tips and tricks from here and you'll be able to pass the test the very first time. So step number 0 is going to be, you just failed your test. What should you do? Do not beat yourself up from it. Take it from a learning curve, right? So you can actually go and comfort yourself. So one of the things we recommend is kind of go and treat yourself to something. Even though you might not think you deserve it, you did something that was pretty difficult and you didn't give up and you got the result that you probably didn't want, which is fully understandable. So go watch a movie, go hang out with somebody, go eat some ice cream or something like that and kind of take your mind off of it so you don't have to beat yourself up over it. Now, after you kind of gotten through that, you've given yourself that pity party and you are now ready to move forward, step number 1 is going to be review in your mind what actually happened on the test. Now, depending on where you take the test, depends if the examiner is allowed to give you kind of like a checklist of things that you've missed. But most good examiners out there are going to say, hey, you really failed on the pre-trip inspection. These are some of the items that you have to check. Or if you failed on the parking maneuvers, as an example, you'll know which parking maneuver was harder to hit and which wasn't harder to hit. So if you were to kind of play that back in your head, you would think, okay, what can I have done to actually gotten this thing done much better? And for people who don't know what the road test is about, you're going to be tested on 3 different sections. Part number 1 is going to be pre-trip inspection. Part number 2 is going to be parking the vehicle. Part number 3 is going to be driving the truck. And if you haven't taken the test yet and you don't really know what I'm talking about, make sure you check out this video right over here where we'll give you a breakdown of all 3 parts of the actual CDL road test itself, right? That being said, you're going to kind of recalibrate itself. You're going to understand, okay, this is what I could have done better. This is what I need help with. And then you're going to think, hey, if I just went to Driving Academy at the best CDL school in the country and I signed up for one of their guaranteed training courses, I wouldn't have to worry about it if I failed or not, because that's one of the things that our students love about our program. We have a few courses out there that can actually guarantee that you walk away with your CDL license. What does that mean? That means that when you pay one price, you have over 100 hours of training plus unlimited tries at the road test itself, which means whether it takes you 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, doesn't matter. You keep going for the test until you pass at no extra cost to you. And people who wind up failing the test the first time are super grateful that they've signed up for one of our guaranteed courses. And the people who are a little bit cocky in the beginning because they thought that they got the test very easy, those are the guys who are beating themselves up a little bit and being like, damn, I should have gotten a guaranteed training course. So don't make that mistake if you haven't taken your test yet. That being said, step number 2 is going to be, okay, work out an actual game plan with your instructor. So if you're a student here at Driving Academy, before you take your next test, make sure you try to get your training scheduled right away. So if you take your test on a Friday, that next week, set yourself up for some training in our training yard with one of our instructors and start working on things that you went wrong with, right? So it's anything that you can improve on. The other thing you do have to understand is the road test itself is almost set up like a video game. One of those old school video games that you kind of move up to different levels, which means there's 3 different sections that we talked about. If you pass that first level 100%, that means you pass it and you get to start the next game when you die, right? At that level 2, which is going to be parking. However, if you did not pass that first boss level and you got all the way to the end and you failed right at the end, when you do start again, you're ever going to start at that checkpoint all the way at the beginning of level 1, level 2, or level 3, depending on where you did fail itself. So the way to think about the actual road test is going to be like a video game. Say there's 3 levels to this video game, right? You're all the way, once you beat level 1 itself, that means you've already passed level 1. When you have to respawn, you're going to start off on level 2 again on the next test. But say you don't pass all of level 2, when you respawn in this new video game, you're going to start at the beginning of level 2, no matter where you ended up in. So once you really kind of understand that, it's a building block system where as long as you kind of get the right things done the first time, you don't have to repeat them moving forward. But the one thing to definitely watch out for is don't just focus on things that you failed, because I've seen a lot of people, especially with the pre-trip inspection, just focus on the 1 or 2 items that they failed on, and then all of a sudden they go for their next test, and then they forget all the things that they knew before because they did not practice. Which brings us to step number 3, which is practice, practice, practice. And when you think you're done, practice some more, because that pre-trip inspection is one of the biggest reasons why people do fail. About 80% of the people who fail their test the first time fail on that inspection portion. So if you're a student here, we're actually going to give you a word-for-word script so you know exactly what to say, so you can train with the same trucks you'll be taking the test in our yard. And when you're not in the yard, you can watch YouTube videos or have access to any of our student portal videos and trainings that are exclusively just for our students itself. And that's one of the benefits of being a student here at Driving Academy. And the final step, after all of that stuff, you've kind of reviewed everything that went wrong. You made a game plan with your instructor. You started training again. You kept practicing even when it was boring. Now it's finally time to schedule that next test. Now, depending on the state that you're taking the test in, depends on how long your wait time period actually has to be, but try to schedule yourself as soon as possible. Again, one of the benefits of being a student here at Driving Academy, some of our locations are actually third-party testing approved, which means we can actually give you the CDL road test and train you at the same time, which means you don't have to wait months for the DMV to open up a schedule for you. That being said, if you are interested in getting yourself a CDL license and you are afraid of failing, sign up for one of our guaranteed training courses. This test is not easy and it is very difficult. So if you sign up with one of those, you can actually be certain to walk away with a CDL license that you're after, as long as you don't give up. Like I said, we're going to give you over 100 hours of training with unlimited tries at the road test itself. So if you are interested in learning more, make sure you click on the link below or check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. Thanks, and I'll see you soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to get your CDL license, you know where to go. Check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com, right over there. And if you like this video, you'll definitely like this video right over here. So make sure you check that out. But before anything else, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you soon.